Oh my life,
we're back.
We're actually not back. We're still in sunny Croatia.
It's hot.
It's very, very hot. We are flying home tonight in a couple of hours. So we're just going to go and pack up our things in our hotel room. But the following video is just a few bits that I've put together from the open day. I'm sorry it's taken a while to do. The first bit is my opening speech that Tamara very kindly recorded. And then there's just a few nice clips from throughout the day. The teddy bear memorial video will be coming soon. I just haven't got round to editing it yet, but I promise I will still share it with you. And I believe that Freya has told you about teddy bear's girlfriend Susie and shown you where his memorial tree is planted with him. Anyway, we'll see you very soon.
Enjoy the video.
Bye. So we're a little bit late getting started, and we just wanted to give people the chance to get here and walk up that lovely hill. We're walking up the hill. Yeah, you see you got your steps in for the day. It doesn't get any easier no matter how many times you walk up it. Are you going to come and join me over here? Honestly, if you were at the last open day, Annie was in here and she just went to bed. But because Micah's not had a moment to shine in the arena, I thought today it was her turn to come in. Isn't it? You're going to stand with me. I have written down my opening talk because I don't have the ability to retain information these days. It's been quite a challenging year. Many of you will know that. Others of you, if it's your first time visiting, I'm sorry if you don't know that. We will tell you a little bit more about it as the day goes on, whether it's from me here or anybody who you chat to throughout the day. Obviously, I'd like to welcome everybody, you know, new and old visitors, and that's not referring to your age. Our patrons, our sponsors, you know, I really appreciate you all coming, and I'm so glad that we've got nice weather for it. For those who are visiting for the first time, I'd like to let you know what it is that we do in a nutshell, which is not really easy for me to do because I'm not known for being concise, but I'll do my best. Basically, as it says on our website, Friesian education and wellness is at the heart of everything we do, and it really is. It always has been, and it always will be. The horses around you today have basically guided us to where we are now, and undoubtedly they'll continue to guide us over the years to come. You know, they get their own way all the time, and it's always about them, and they tell us what's right and what's wrong. And they've challenged all sorts of traditional and perhaps now outdated perceptions of what horses are here for in our lives. When we started doing our original experience days, the idea of them was really to try and help people understand more about Friesians before they went out and bought one, purely because I saw so many people who were going out and buying Friesians, and then it turned out to be the wrong Friesian for the wrong person. The relationship wasn't right, and people were taking on more than they could handle. So, you know, that was my idea behind the experience days. I thought I can help horses in this way by helping people understand them better. We did then end up with, cut very long short, I can't move, I have to stay here. We'll stand very stationary together, Micah. We ended up with several horses being abandoned with us. Hannes, Angel Eyes, who you'll have seen down in the turnout over there, he was our original boy and the reason why we started the sanctuary. And then little Micah here, she got left here with her buddy Norcha. I can't remember how many years ago it is, somebody will remember. You know, sadly we lost Norcha, which was heartbreaking. Since they came to us, we've had 5 others who have come under the sanctuary scheme that we run now, because whenever there's a Friesian in need, we will always do our best to try and help and support them and their owners. So since then, we've had Veebs, Teddy Bear, who I'll talk a little bit more about later, Iceman, who you're going to see a bit later if you saw the programme. Jodie's going to be bringing him in and we'll tell you a little bit more about his story. And then Uber, old man Uber, or as Frey calls him, Weirdo. He's the boss of the 3 boys out there, so he might occasionally just tell the others where to go. But, you know, they know that he's the boss. And then the latest one was, as many of you will know if you follow us on YouTube, Rainbow Boy himself, Nero, who I don't know whether he's out of bed yet, but he's been sleeping most of the morning. I did a criminal thing, I left him out all night and he got tired and a bit sore. So he can sleep all day, which is better than him being destructive, which is what he did on the last open day. And most days of his life, he's quite destructive. He was ripping off nameplates over there and doing all sorts of things. He broke the hay bar. Yeah, there's all sorts of things he's broken. Anyway, so from the original experience days, where we had lots of people coming along, some were riding, driving, doing lots of things with the horses, I was quite concerned that all my originals were not going to get the amount of attention that they just love, you know, once they weren't doing so much work. And I guess from this kind of came stable stays, and the friendship barn is something that I've had in my mind for many, many years, just a space where anybody can come and spend time with them, because it's a benefit for them, you know, they love people, which is what makes them so unique. Anyway, for some time I really did worry about whether people were going to just want to come along here just to spend time with the horses on the ground, because after all, a large percentage of the population, you ask them about a horse, or you say, have you done anything with a horse, and 99.9% of the time, oh, well, I rode once, or generally all about the riding, and there's so much more to them, but I'm not going to go on about that now. You know, there is a huge animal-loving, horse-loving community out there, many of whom would never think that in their lifetime they would have the opportunity to get up close to a horse. You know, where can you go where you can go and interact with them without it being about riding or anything else. Also, to find a place with horses where you feel welcome, regardless of whether you have been with a horse or whether you've spent any time or whether you have any knowledge of them. You know, and I think that's what we try to provide here. We try to provide a place where anybody from all walks of life, any age, any level of experience can come and just interact with them, because we like to think that they're very happy horses. They're very kind horses. Trust me, they can all have their moments. You know, they've all got their individual personalities. But the one thing that they all love is people. And, you know, for me even, and weirdly, you know, I live with these day in, day out. But for me to stand here with Micah and actually have my hands on her and cuddle her, sorry, darling, just don't go near my ears. They're a little bit sore. You know, it's the most wonderful feeling for me, you know, even though I'm with them all the time. And because it's been a very stressful year, actually that's all I wanted from today, was just to actually be able to stand with some of you, cuddle the horses, and just enjoy that energy that they share with you and how they make you feel. If you've been before, you'll have heard me say I never want to, you know, use the horses in a commercial way. And, you know, that did worry me about how we survive. But inadvertently, by having the beliefs that we do about how we should be with horses and not using them in that way, it has had an impact on the mental health and wellness of our supporters, both in terms of people who visited here and those who follow us online, whether it's through social media, Facebook, YouTube, you know, whatever platform you follow them. I'm actually going to read a letter to you, and I'm going to try not to cry, and I apologise if anybody else cries. And this letter I received after we lost Teddy Bear, Vibra, last month. And the reason I want to read this to you is because we received thousands of condolences about this little horse when he passed away from all around the world, and they all meant so much. But this, and she doesn't mind me saying I have checked, from Donna over there in the teddy bear blue colours, absolutely epitomises what these horses do. So bear with me, I'm going to read this, and I think it speaks volumes, far more than I can try and summarise. Dear Tracy, and all the team at Greenbank. I'm so very sorry for your loss of sweet, gentle teddy bear Vibran. You don't need me to tell you how special he was, but if it's okay, I'd like to share with you what he means to me. I first met Teddy on the 10th of March 2023 on a Meet the Horses tour, where he was busy tucking into his hay in the turnout. I think it was over there. I didn't want to disturb him, so I stood with my back to the gate, chatting to Matt and Hull. Moments later, his head appeared over my shoulder, my very first bear hug, and I was in love. I left Greenbank Farm that day, elated and desperate to return. So that evening, I booked my first session in the Friesian Friendship Barn, with who else but beautiful Bear. What I didn't realise at the time was that something changed in me that day. Since that first visit, my mental health has improved significantly, boosted every couple of months by cuddles in the Friendship Barn, written in my calendar as Teddy time. I joke that it's like therapy or a spa day, but that's not so far from the truth. I'm much calmer, much less stressed. If I set off to work feeling a little anxious, I hold my teddy bear keyring and say, "Come on, Teddy, we can do this." For as long as I can remember, my idle brain automatically thought of work or other worries in life. Since meeting Bear, I find myself wondering what he's up to or reliving memories of our time in the Friendship Barn instead. I know the last few weeks have been desperately hard on you all, but I know with all my heart it was the right thing to do to give him a chance. If love and support could heal the body, he would be galloping through the fields right now. Thank you for knowing the right time and having the strength to make the decision that nobody wants to make. I'm so glad he went with peace and dignity, with his loving family around him. I will miss him, but each night before bed and every morning when I wake up, I see the artwork on my bedroom wall Matt had done for my birthday last year, a black and white picture of me and Teddy Bear in the Friendship Barn. Today it brings tears, but in time will make me smile again. Thank you for sharing your precious boy with us all. Lots of love, Donna. Thank you, Donna, and thank you for letting me share that with everybody. And it never ever ceases to amaze me the effect these horses have. For those who don't know about Teddy Bear, if you head to the Friendship Barn, there's a few of the gifts and cards that we got from people around the world. And at the end of the day, there will be the opportunity to go down and pay your respects down in our memorial orchard. And then we can let the boys go if you've seen the itinerary. So that'll be sad, but fun at the same time, I hope. I'm also going to tell you a little bit more about Bear later when Jodie comes into the arena with Iceman. What I will say right now is that the day that he went to sleep was quite a historic day for this farm itself. Sorry, I knew I wouldn't hold it together today. I'm doing my best. Because the date was already massively significant, as it was the day that this farm, Greenbank Farm, came into our family. Bought by our great-great-grandfather 110 years ago on that day. So that anniversary every year, we always remember all the horses that we've lost, but Bear sits firmly there in all of our hearts. And he's up there inspecting vehicles as well. That was his little job. So my sister, Tamara, and I are simply caretakers of this farm, a farm that has been very badly let down by the establishment over the years, but I'm not going to go into that. It's on YouTube if you want to watch. Horses have been a part of the history of this place, and all being well, will continue to be a part of this place for many years to come. As beautiful as this place is, it's not particularly efficient for horses, and the facilities that we have here are run down. With more horses needing our help, this year we did launch our biggest ever fundraiser, which we called our 110k campaign. And the idea of this was to help us to improve the facilities for the horses, but also to help preserve some of the They are horrific in lots of ways. Some of the historic buildings on this property, so that they could stand for hundreds more years. Nothing here is straightforward or easy, and being built into stone, it's been quite challenging, and it will continue to be challenging, but that's one of the things that makes this place very special. It's through this campaign and through primarily YouTube that we've reached so many supporters who've given us the confidence that our beliefs are the right way to go for that community of people. I know it doesn't suit everybody, and that's fine, but anybody who supports our beliefs and understands it is always welcome here. But it's through that support that we've actually been able to start on some of the improvements. So I look at it that with that 110-year anniversary, there was sadness, but there was an enormous amount of light being shone at the end of the tunnel. If you've been into the main barn, if you've been here before, you may or may have not have noticed, but you know, we had these horrible shabby mats in there. It got a bit stinky with the horses. We've got new matting in those stables. The barn down here by the entrance, the roof was about to collapse and it was all falling apart and was basically another dumping ground. That's been completely restored. We're just waiting for a stable door on it now. And unfortunately, that brings me on to our dear farrier, Chris Milby, who's making the gate. He's made the doors for the Friendship Barn, he's made the doors for stable stays, he's made the bed in stable stays. Bless him, he got kicked by a horse earlier this week. There's broken ribs. It's awful for him. It's awful for our horses as well, because I've got to find another farrier now who can come and look after them. And that's why I'm kind of hiding Micah's feet, because she lost a shoe and we haven't been able to sort it out yet. Anyway, I go by the by. So Bessie's barn is done. If you noticed as you came up the driveway, there's a huge mess in that field on the left, which was always Hoytzer and Jubba's house. That's all going to be rebuilt and renovated so that we've got another area for them to be over the winter. We've just hit the 60,000 mark on the campaign, which has allowed us to get started. It was originally going to close on the anniversary, but for obvious reasons we changed that, and it will run throughout the year. The idea of this campaign was that for this winter we could offer the horses much better protection from the elements, because let's face it, it really was the worst winter going. You know, how much rain did we have? And we continue to have. Anyway, that's probably enough from me for now. So, as I said earlier, today, George has cut me off because he says I've been talking too long. So today is all about, it's not about performances, it's not about us putting on lots of displays in here, although Jodie, as I say, will be coming in with Iceman. I want each and every one of you, even if, and I know some of you have been in the past and never even been up close to a Friesian, I want you going home dirty, having cuddled a Friesian, you know, having really got stuck in, whether it's in the Friendship Barn, collar anyone who's got a name badge on, and they can take you in with any of the horses, because I want you all to get up close and personal and just feel what it's like to be close to one of these amazing horses. We're starting, well, I've started already, but Micah here, she's a sensitive soul. She doesn't always pose nicely for photos, but she's very, very beautiful and very, very soft. Jodie's going to come and join us in a minute with Niki News, who also hasn't had her session in the Friendship Barn in the arena on an open day yet. So Jodie's going to head up with her. We're just going to have them in here for the next, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Anyone who wants to come in, and if we can just do small groups at a time with each of the horses, if you want to come in for some photos or just a cuddle, then you can do so with the two of them. And then after that, there'll be things going on down at the tie-up, all the places that you can wander around and just go and interact with the horses. We're also going to bring Hoytzer and Jubba in here. It's turned me off again. No, it's me, I turned the wrong way. I shouldn't blame anyone else, it's me. So we're going to bring Hoytzer and Jubba's in here, which is usually quite entertaining. Hoytzer usually has a role, Jubba's has a role, and then just tries to eat around the edges of the arena. So again, we'll let them have a play, and then if anyone wants to come in, have a cuddle with them, or scratch Hoytzer's back legs, it's his favourite thing, then you can come in and do that. So whether you want to stay here or wander off, I just want you all to have a nice, relaxing day. I want me to have a nice, relaxing day, because it was quite a mission to get to this point of opening up. And I'll not lie, I was that close to counselling today a couple of days ago, but I'm so glad that I didn't, and that you're all here, and that our fantastic team has got it all together, and we can just enjoy a nice and relaxing day with these wonderful horses. Thank you.
Hoitzer and Jubbers having a bit of play for everyone. So Ice has done a little bit in the arena while I talked a bit about Bear and Ice, and Jodie's just brought him over for everybody to chat to, because that's what he wants to do.
It was true to say about him, you know, from the minute I started working with him, he's always wanted to work, wanted to do, but I always felt like there was something that was holding him back, and that's what we discovered about the horses. And it seems that since then he's just been able to relax more with his body, stretch more, and just be able to move more and enjoy his work. He's always been a horse that's enjoyed it, and like Tracy said, he's so stoic that he'll never thought there's anything underlying wrong with him. But again, that's with horses that haven't been here their whole life. We never saw any huge behaviour changes. It's just very slight things that we now look back on.
So we've done the raffle, it's the end of the day. Nero's got out of bed. There's Uber, then Iceman, and you can see down the bottom.
Feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With every breath I take, I'm grateful you are near. So grateful, yeah. Thank you for the laughter, thank you for the tears.